Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will get daily, weekly, monthly content on regular basis. Use the code Vikas10 and get 10% additional discount while purchasing the course. Also, students, follow us on Telegram and Instagram. The link for the same are mentioned in our description. This video has both English and Hindi. The first part is English and second part is Hindi. Timestamps are mentioned in the description below.
Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs for the topic Science and Technology for the July month. The session will be quite interesting and important, students, so stay tuned with us till the end. You will be learning a lot of things that will be quite beneficial for your competitive exams. So let's start. The first question that is asked here is, identify the country that launched a climate change monitoring satellite, that is Global Observing Satellite for Greenhouse Gases and Water Cycle Satellite, that is GOSAT-GW. This was launched using H-2A rocket from the Tianjin Space Center. See, remember this H-2A rocket, we have discussed multiple times that this H-2A rocket is of which country? It is of Japan, right? So take a note of this, and this marks the 50th and the final flight for H-2A rocket. Next, in June, Defense Research and Development Organization, that is DRDO, they have developed India's first indigenous what? It is first indigenous photonic radar. This is a major significant milestone in India's air defense technology with ultra high resolution, stealth detection and immunity to electronic jamming. Next, without using which material, researchers at Pennsylvania State University of USA has built a computer from scratch that showed the possibility to replace the material that fueled the bulk of technology advancement by making devices even smaller and faster. So without using which material, researchers at Pennsylvania they developed a computer, it is silicon. Without using silicon, this milestone was achieved. Next, name the Indian naval ship commissioned into Indian Navy at Yantar shipyard in Kaliningrad of Russia, making it the 8th in the series of Project 113.6 of Talwar class and the second vessel in the follow-on Tushil class of ships. So, name that INS commissioned. What is it? It is INS Tamal. Indian naval ship Tamal. Next, in July, Indian Navy received the stealth frigate Yard 12652, that is Udayagiri, from Madgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, that was delivered under which project? It was under the Project 17A. Next, mention the name of the company that made history by becoming the first Indian company to design and manufacture enterprise grade solid state drives. So mention the name of the company. It is MyFi Semiconductors Private Limited. Next, name the hypersonic vehicle whose test flight was conducted successfully by China in July, marking a significant technological advancement in rocket-based combined cycle propulsion. So, name that hypersonic vehicle. It is Tiantian 2. Right? Very important. It was recently only discovered and launched, and it was tested, and it is a key enabler of sustained hypersonic flight. Next, identify the name of the company from which India's Paras Anti-Drone Technology Private Limited received a letter of intent for 30 units of the Chimera 200 anti-drone systems worth 22.21 crore rupees. So, identify the name of the company from which India's Paras Anti-Drone Technologies Private Limited they received this letter of intent. It is Sarber. Right, this is the company. Next, where did the DRDO Laboratory, Defense Electronics Application Laboratory, successfully conduct the field trials of software-defined radio, manpack and compact trans-horizon communication system? So, where did this DRDO Laboratory and they successfully conducted the field trials? These were conducted in Uttarakhand. Next, mention the name of the company which is said to become India's first private company to offer satellite communication services using a locally built geostationary satellite to users across the country. So, mention the name of that company. It is Anantnath Technologies Limited. Next, what is the name of the interstellar comet discovered by NASA that originated far from beyond our solar system, making it the third confirmed interstellar object detected in our solar system neighbor? And on social media, students, it is going on that this is an alien ship, right? And the aliens will be visiting Earth. So it is a interstellar object, not a alien ship, just to clarify, and it is 3I Atlas. Correct, and this is the third interstellar object, so 3I. Next, mention the name of the company that partnered with Synergy Quantum India Private Limited to build India's first indigenous quantum secure satellite with an aim to strengthen the national space infrastructure against emerging quantum threats. So mention the company that partnered with Synergy Quantum. It is Space Transportation Systems. Next, the Indian Navy successfully conducted the user trials of ERASER, ERASR, that is an indigenous anti-submarine weapon system. It was tested from INS Kavaratti. This is also an important question, right? It was tested between 23rd of June to 7th of July. Next, mention the name of the Indian naval ship delivered by Hindustan Shipyard Limited in July to the Indian Navy at Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. So mention the name of that INS. Which is that INS? It is INS Nistar. Next, in July, where did ISRO? They successfully conducted the 2 short duration hot test of the Gaganyaan service module propulsion system. So where was it tested? It was tested in Mahendragiri in Tamil Nadu. And the test here lasted 30 seconds and 100 seconds respectively. Next, which company received the final regulatory approval from InSpace to offer commercial satellites broadband services in India? So, which is that company? It is Starlink Satellite Communication Private Limited. Next, who became the youngest astronaut in training aiming for NASA's first human mission to Mars and on track to become one of the first people to set foot on Mars? So, who became the youngest astronaut in training? Elisa Carson, right? And for NASA, and first human to Mars and on track to become one of the first people to set foot on Mars. And it is expected that once she will go to Mars, she won't be returning back to India or returning back to the Earth. Next, where did DRDO and Indian Air Force they jointly conducted a flight test of the indigenously developed beyond visual range air-to-air missile, that is Astra, that is equipped with indigenous radio frequency seeker. So where was it tested? ITR Chandipur of the coast of Odisha. This was tested. Next, mention the name of the geostationary communication satellite developed by Israel Aerospace Industries in partnership with Israeli Space Agency, launched into space from Florida, USA. So mention the name of that geostationary communication satellite. It is DROR-1, DROR-1, and it was launched using the Falcon 9 rocket. Next, identify the country that developed the world's lightest brain control device named Cyborg B, weighing 74 milligrams, that can be used to control the movement of the bees. And it is China. This is a significant development, students. It can be very dangerous if used in a wrong way. Next, DRDO, they handed over 6 indigenously designed and developed strategic products to the Indian Navy in Jodhpur, Rajasthan. Identify the one that is not in the list of the 6 products here. So among the following, it is execution survival vessel is not among the 6 products that are here. So option 3 is right for us. Next, India received the second GEF404 IN-20 engine from General Electric Aerospace for Lloyd Combat Aircraft Tejas Mark 1A program. This General Electric Aerospace belongs to which country? This General Electric is of United States of America. Next, Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, that is SpaceX of USA, they successfully tested the launch of 24 Amazon Kuiper broadband internet satellite using the Falcon 9 rocket from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida, USA. Next, identify the correct statement regarding the successful trial of 3 missiles conducted by the Indian Army in July. If we look at the options, all these 3 options are rightly mentioned. Next, mention the company that launched Indian naval ship Ajay, the final of the 8th anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft built for Indian Navy to strengthen the maritime defense capabilities of India. So mention the company that launched the INS Ajay. It is GRSE, Garden Ridge Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited. Next, identify the first indigenous recombinant chimeric multi-stage malaria vaccine for which Indian Council of Medical Research invited the expression of interest for transfer of technology for commercial production in July 2025. So identify the first indigenous recombinant chimeric multi-stage malaria vaccine. What is the name of that? It is AffairsCloud. Next, Apollyon Dynamics, a startup based from which institute successfully delivered the indigenously developed unmanned aerial vehicle, that is UAVs, to the Indian Army in July. So this is a startup from BITS Pilani. Next, mention the institute that developed the report titled Skills for the Future Transforming India's Workforce Landscape, unveiled by Union Minister of State Jayant Chaudhary in June 2025. So mention the institute, which institute we are talking about. This is your homework question, students, right? And I need to see maximum participation from all the students watching this video. Now let's move to the revision part that will be quite beneficial for your preparation.
Identify the company that raised $120 million, approximately 1028 crore rupees in the Series D of the funding round that was led by SC Ventures in June, that became the fifth Indian startup to achieve the unicorn status in 2025. So in simple terms, this question can also be asked that which is the fifth Indian startup to achieve the unicorn status. Unicorn status is basically when a company reaches a $1 billion market cap, that is MCAP. So which is that company we are talking about? It is Jumbotail Technologies Private Limited, and in Series D they raised $120 million. If we talk about, this is the fifth Indian startup to achieve the unicorn status. Apart from that, Netradyne, then Juspay, Porter, then Drools Pet Food Limited, and now it is your Jumbotail Technologies that became the unicorn. Next, mention the company with which Setshore Analytics Private Limited signed an MOU to deliver end-to-end Earth observation as a service solution. So with the help of satellite here, data will be provided about Earth. So this is an Earth observation as a service. It is Dhruva Space Private Limited, right? This is the company with which Setshore Analytics Private Limited, they have signed this MOU. Next, according to Credit Rating Information Service of India Limited, that is CRISIL, what is the revised GDP growth of India for the FY26 as predicted by it in July 2025? It is 6.5%. Next, mention the state that became the third Indian state to record over 1 CR or 1 crore registered stock market investors after Maharashtra and UP, according to the latest data released by NSE in July. Which is that state after Maharashtra and UP? It is Gujarat. Next, identify the organization that signed an MOU with India Meteorological Department IMD to launch India's first weather derivatives. So first weather derivative, important question, launched by whom? Launched by National Commodity and Derivatives Exchange Limited. Next is identify the airlines that signed $12.25 billion agreement with Airbus to purchase 50 aircraft, that is A321XLR aircraft, with purchase rights for additional 20 of them, marking a significant strategic shift towards creating world's first low-cost narrow-body network carrier. So identify that airline, it is AirAsia, right? And if asked about the aircraft, that is A321XLR. Next, in July, which company unveiled their new corporate logo to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the foundation of the group? It is Yamaha Motor Company Limited, right? And this is the first time in 27 years that the company has registered their corporate or redesigned their corporate logo. Next, mention the company that signed an MOU with Care Expert Technologies Private Limited, that is a Reliance Jio-backed healthcare technology company, to develop and launch a national digital healthcare platform. Which is it? It is Telecom Egypt. Option 1 is right here. Next, identify the company that joined the FTSE for Good Index series designed to measure the performance of companies demonstrating strong environmental, social and governance practices. Which is it? It is your JSW Energy Limited. Next, in July, which of the following launched the second cohort of the Orbit program under the Atal Incubation Center T-Hub Space Tech Accelerator to support 17 space tech startups? So which is it? It is T-Hub, that is your technology hub. Next, identify the company that became the world's first publicly traded company to achieve a market capitalization of $4 trillion. It is Nvidia Corporation, right? And with this, Nvidia has surpassed Microsoft Corporation's market cap, which hold a market cap of $3.75 trillion, right? Whereas Apple stands at $3.17 trillion. Next, identify the shipping companies that announced a 10,000 crore rupees investment in the Indian shipping industry in July, marking the largest FDI in this sector. It is Introint Navigation Company and Danish and Partners Limited. This is the largest FDI in the Indian shipping sector since the government of India. They have opened 100% FDI in this shipping sector in 2005, and even 100% FDI is approved in the space sector also. Next, identify the stock exchange that was ranked 4th globally in IPO fundraising during the first half of the calendar year 25 as per the S&P Global Market Intelligence data. It is NSE, right? It is your National Stock Exchange of India. So right option 2. Next, what was the India's retail inflation measured by CPI according to the Consumer Price Index for rural, urban and combined for the month of June, released by National Statistics Office in July 2025. So what was India's retail inflation here? It stands at 2.10%. Next, India's overall trade deficit including merchandise and service, it narrowed sharply down to $3.51 billion as per the trade statistics for the first quarter of FY26 and for the month of June 2025 as released by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry in the July month. Next, the NABARD, they commemorated their 44th foundation day with the launch of several key initiatives in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. We have to find the correct option here. If we look at the options here, we can see option A is right, B is right, C is wrong. C is saying that NABARD, they have launched a Telegram channel targeting the financial inclusion among the rural and semi-urban population. Is it correct? So this is not a Telegram channel that they launched, but a WhatsApp broadcast channel was launched here, not a Telegram, WhatsApp channel. Next, identify the company that entered into a binding agreement with Alliance Group to form a 50-50 domestic reinsurance joint venture to serve the dynamic and high growth insurance sector in India. Which among the following is right? It is Geo Financial Service Limited, right? And the joint venture aims to provide and it targets the India's goal, that is to achieve insurance for all by 2047. Next, what is India's GDP growth forecast for FY25 according to the report titled Asian Development Outlook for July 2025, Slower Growth Amid Tariffs and Uncertainty. This was released by Asian Development Bank in the month of July. So it is 6.5%. Next, identify the company that estimated India's GDP forecast to be 6.3% for FY26. Which among the following is right? It is India Ratings and Research, right? Take a note of it. Then next, mention the company with which BEML Limited, they have signed an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, to work together on the co-development of advanced marine systems covering innovation, indigenous design and manufacturing under Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. It is Hindustan Shipyards Limited. Next, as per the International Monetary Fund IMF's July update for the World Economic Outlook update, that is the released by, or this question can also be asked students, that this World Economic Outlook is released by whom? It is released by IMF, that is International Monetary Fund. Question asked is, what is India's revised GDP growth projection for both FY26 and FY27? It is 6.1%. Oh, sorry, 6.4%. Right option is option 4. Next, which company secured a defense contract worth approximately 600 crore rupees in July through their subsidiaries for projects related to airborne, naval and radar systems? So which is the company we are talking about? Exides, that is Exides Technologies Limited, right? They are valued at approximately 600 crore through their subsidiaries, which projects execution planned over the next 3 to 5 years.